Watch.
It's like, yes. Yes, let me see blood.
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, my tasty morsels. Reverse BLT here. And it is time for Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now, usually Mandalorian reactions on my channel come out on Monday. And somehow my brain decided to do a really bizarre thing. I don't really know how to explain it. Because I try to record these a day or two before I actually have to post them to give me ample time to actually, edit them and everything. And I was going to do that and somehow watched Season 2 opener of The Witcher. Watched the entire thing, sat down to edit The Mandalorian, and then all of a sudden my brain finally caught up with itself. It was like, no, that was The Witcher you just watched. And so everybody ended up with The Witcher, which usually comes out on Friday, on Monday instead. But I decided that balance must be restored because this is the way. So this Friday, this week only, it's going to be The Mandalorian, which is what I'm doing right now. So anyway, Season 2 opener is entitled The Marshal. Now, as many of you know, I have already watched the Book of Boba Fett, so I'm pretty sure I know who this person will end up being. And I'm kind of excited to see how Din Djarin meets him for the first time and what kind of adventure they have together. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Season 2, Episode 1, The Mandalorian, The Marshal. Catch up with Mando and Grogu. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It almost feels like the opening of a gangster rap video. Like, I expected it to zoom in on Grogu real quick and have him just going like, nobody understands when they see me rolling down the road.
What the hell was that?
I can't even fucking freestyle anymore. The people in the old neighborhood would be so disappointed in me. My cousin and I used to stand on corners and freestyle. We were actually pretty good. That was a long time ago. Very long time ago. Interesting. So they have shields. So does that mean that the fights are never intended to go all the way? Or is depleting the shield part of the progress of the fight?
It's uncool to talk business immediately. Just enjoy the entertainment.
Grogu really loves violence, man.
You gamble, Mando?
Not when it can be avoided.
Well, I'll bet you the information you seek. That this Gamorrean's gonna die within the next minute and a half. And all you have to put up in exchange is your shiny Beskar armor.
I'm prepared to pay you for the information. I'm not leaving my fate up to chance.
Nor am I.
Tell me where the Mandalorians are, and I'll walk out of here without killing you.
I thought you said you weren't the gambler.
I'm not.
I mean, what were the blasters going to do anyway? Beskar blocks blasters. Though I know the one guy did have one pointed at his neck, but still. There was one guy, only one guy seemed to have his blaster pointed at an area that would actually work. Well, let's see, OBS is still having problems with random fucking codec crashes. Fortunately, I saw it before I lost more than about 30 seconds, but basically what you missed out on was me chuckling at the guy saying, "I need you to give me your word that you won't kill me if I give you the information." And then Jarn responding, "I promise you will not die by my hand." I always love malicious compliance as a trope. So I assume that he's just going to kill him with his blade or something, or shoot him with the blaster, which I guess technically isn't dying by his hand. But anyway, let's go back a few seconds and
Grace? Mando, you can't leave me
hopefully
like
the
this!
codec won't crash again.
Cut me down!
That wasn't part of the deal.
Wait, what are you doing? Mando, I can save!
Ah.
Mando! Mando!
Oh man. Don't cross a Mandalorian, because that is not going to be a pleasant death. They're doing some interesting things with the music this season. Hello again, Pelly.
May as well let them have at it. The crest needs a good once-over.
Oh, so he likes droids now. Well, you heard him. Give it a once-over. Oh, I guess a lot has changed since you were last in Mos... Oh, thank the Force! Looks like it remembers me. How much do you want for it? Just kidding, but not really. You know, if this thing ever divides or buds, I will gladly pay for the offspring. Hey!
Amy Sedaris is funny.
What you doing up there? He barely trusts your kind. Well, you want to give all droids a bad name?
Grogu just back there living his best life. I don't know what it is, but things look a little more noticeably CGI so far this season. Or maybe it's that, what is it, that projection wall technology that they use for sets in Star Wars now? It's like I can see it this time around, and I couldn't really see it at all first season. There were very few shots where I felt like I was looking at something artificial first season. Maybe they're still kind of getting some of the kinks out. He chooses the weirdest times to sort of decide to just leave Grogu on his own. So now you know he's not actually a Mandalorian.
I've never met a real Mandalorian. I'm Cobb Vanth, Marshal of Mos Pelgo.
Where did you get the armor?
Bought off some Jawas.
Hand it over.
All comes around. Full circle.
Look, pal, I'm sure you call the shots where you come from, but round here, I'm the one tells folks what to do.
Yeah, I would just assume this is an earthquake. Tatooine has earthquakes, doesn't it? Oh, what the hell is it? Like a baby Sarlacc or something? This is about to turn into an episode of Tremors? I was just thinking to myself, this thing seems awfully considerate of their buildings and stuff.
Maybe we can work something out.
Looks like you basically jerry-rigged a pod from a pod racer and slapped like a freaking seat onto the side of it.
You don't understand what it was like. The town was on its last legs. Hey, you okay? Come on, let's get down of here. Let's go. Go! Took what I could from the invaders. Grabbed a Camtono. I had no idea it was full of silicax crystals. And then I was saved.
What?
My treasure bought me more than a full water skin. It bought my freedom.
I always thought you had to have, like, you know, specialized training to use that stuff.
What the hell you done?
Oh, they're little doggos! You're probably surrounded right now.
They want to kill the Great Dragon, too.
That's pretty cool. I never even thought about people brushing bantha teeth. Grogu's probably thinking about eating you just like you're thinking about eating Grogu, little pupper.
What am I supposed to do with this?
You drink it.
It stinks.
Do you want their help?
Not if I have to drink this.
Says your people steal their water, and now you insult them by not drinking it. You're agitating them.
These monsters can't be reasoned with. Sit back down before I put a hole through you. I'm not gonna
So is this particular sand person in Bantha bait, or what?
It lives in an abandoned Sarlacc pit.
I've lived on Tatooine my whole life. There's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit.
There is if you eat the Sarlacc.
Wow, great dragons can eat
Laying out
sarlaccs?
a bantha to protect the settlement. They've studied its digestion cycle for generations. They feed the dragon to make it sleep longer. Watch.
It's like, yes, yes, let me see blood. Poor, stupid, trusting Bantha. I had a feeling it was going to go for him just because. Like, yeah, you thought you were going to get away,
They might be open to some fresh ideas.
It's not the scale.
I think it is.
Can't be, that's too big.
You literally just saw it, dude. That is about right. If anything, the crate dragon in their thing is a little small.
Scale. We have struck a deal. If we are willing to leave them the carcass and its ichor, they will stand by our side in battle and vow never to raise a blaster against this town until one of you breaks the peace.
Think it'll work?
It'll take a miracle.
Joining forces is their only hope.
I love the random extras playing townspeople who are told to just, put on your best, I'm not sure I like him face.
Hey! What are you doing? That's an explosive! What, are you trying to blow the whole place up? What? That you want?
Take it easy. It was an accident. Okay?
What do you want to do?
It was an accident. It's gonna be great.
Isn't explosive ordnance usually designed so that it's not just going to blow up because you drop it? Nah, I mean, I guess Star Wars is a different universe than ours, but I would expect them to design safeties into their explosives too. Another volunteer to get eaten, eh? Hopefully this one didn't go to the Prometheus school of running away from things like the previous one, and will run sideways towards the rocks, which presumably the crate dragon cannot penetrate, instead of just running straight away. This reminds me so much of Dune.
Let's get to work.
I wonder what the black melon juice tastes like.
The Tuscans say the belly is the only weak spot, so we have to hit it from below.
Like a video game boss.
First, we bury the charges at the opening of the cave. Then we wake it up. We have to get it angry enough to charge.
I've noticed that this is like a thing that this show does. They have like these scenes of people doing stuff while the Mandalorian has a voiceover explaining the plan. I wonder if that's going to be a thing to keep doing.
Careful, Marshal.
Thank you, Joe. And you stay safe, huh?
So, Cobb fired his missile, right? Where did he get another one? Does the thing rebuild the missiles out of nanites or something? Because I imagine you don't just have a supply of those lying around. Now run away to the sides. No! Damn it! More Prometheus school of running away from things graduates. So you got one of them.
Dang ferric, it's going back in.
Tug of war on maximum difficulty. Why didn't they just do the explosives closer to the mouth of the cave? They knew the thing was sleeping. And it didn't seem like it would wake up unless it heard the little thing the sand people do.
Come out further.
So snack on them. Oh, brutal.
Almost. Ow!
one underground is coming after you. Oh, okay, never mind. Running sideways to the rocks would not have helped anyone. Okay, again, I thought these were all things that you need a specialized training to operate. He can even use the jetpack. Get it in the eyeball. I don't care if you are armored, your eyeballs are not gonna... Your eyeball's not gonna be invincible unless you're Superman. I apologize for yawning so much, guys. It's like all my energy just went out of me. It's been a pretty busy day. I had a pretty crappy car just sort of sitting around collecting dust, and I finally went ahead and sold it to one of those people that buys junk cars. But it took a big chunk of my day and actually put me way behind schedule, so I'm not really even sure I'm going to get this out on Friday like I'm planning. Hey, there you go. Another sacrificial panther, poor guy. Oh, it felt that.
What's the plan?
You're gonna take care of the child.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know, but wish me luck.
How does the detonator know which bombs it's going to be detonating?
Hold on. Whoa.
Yeah, some pretty powerful explosives they got in that mining town. Do you guys even have a mechanism to store this much meat? What are you gonna do with it? They're just probably just gonna have like one gigantic Uber feast and just eat it all right now. Grogu's like, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have time to explain.
No need. This was well earned.
It was my pleasure.
I hope our paths cross again.
As do I.
Funny, you should say
You
that.
tell your people I wasn't the one that broke that.
So is it an egg or a pearl or what? Whoa, format change. What's going on? Why did the format suddenly change? No, because Boba Fett. Hey, where the fuck was John Leguizamo? Seriously, who was John Leguizamo? You know, I don't hear people giving, because people give a lot of grief to Kathleen Kennedy and Disney for a lot of the modern Star Wars stuff, but they don't give her any credit for the good stuff. I've noticed that. They only give her grief for the bad stuff, and they give everyone else credit for all the good stuff. It's a team effort, people. I'm probably gonna have so many people getting mad at me over that. How dare you defend Kathleen Kennedy? I'm not really defending her. I'm just saying, if you're gonna blast somebody for the stuff they fuck up, you have to give them credit for the stuff they can do right too. And this is happening under her watch, just like the stuff that we didn't like, guys. But yeah, that was a good story. I really liked the story. The episode itself felt like, I don't know, like the pacing was off a little bit on this one. It definitely sort of bogged down a bit, which is interesting. It's always kind of a weird thing when you really like the story that's being told, but you still feel like it's dragging a bit. It's kind of hard to really figure out, because I was thinking about that during the episode. I was like, why is it that this feels so slow, like dragging slow, but yet I'm still really interested in the overall story. And what I think was probably the reason for that is that the characters were probably what was really interesting to me. This Marshal character was a lot of fun. We didn't get to see too much of him in the Book of Boba Fett, so it was really nice to get this episode to really dig into him a little bit more. I did feel like the little flashback was a little ham-fisted in a way. Like the story itself, again, I actually liked it, but just sort of the way it was stuck into the episode felt weird. But yeah, it's a very interesting mixed bag. Like, I really like the characters, I really like the overall story, but like something about the way it was being presented just sort of, I don't know, just didn't quite work for me. Let me know if you guys had similar feelings, or if you're just like, what reverse BLT, what the hell are you talking about? But yeah, Cobb Vanth's definitely interesting character. It's kind of a shame that he had to lose that armor, as we all know, for later, so a little too bad didn't get to keep it. I also find it interesting because this raises an interesting question. How well Din know if he's talking to an actual Mandalorian if the only way that most people can tell is just that they're wearing the armor? Cobb Vanth can't Vanth, right? Cobb Vanth can't be the only person running around in the Star Wars galaxy who's wearing Mandalorian armor but is not an actual Mandalorian. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's probably pretty rare, because it's just like taking out a Jedi. Most people definitely can't do it. But there are going to be some people who can, and some of them will wear the armor as sort of a vanity thing, or just because it offers amazing protection or whatever. So I really liked that element when Din was talking to him and he was pouring the drinks. And I even then I was thinking, like, and it was, again, great body language by Pedro Pascal, where it's like you could see as the Marshal was pouring the drinks that he was getting a little confused in a way, or he wasn't understanding what was happening, because why would a Mandalorian be pouring drinks for the both of you in the middle of a public space and all that sort of thing, knowing that what the creed says about showing your face and everything. And that was really cool. You can definitely see that in his body language. And I'm really liking, that's one of my favorite things about this series so far, is Pedro Pascal's ability to convey all of these different things without showing his face. That's some next level acting. Grogu continues to trouble me with his love of violence. This little green guy is a Sith Lord in the making, I swear. And it's also interesting to me, like, you know, we were talking a lot about this in the comments, just this idea that the galaxy appears to have forgotten so many elements. Now, we did, about the Force and the Jedi, before I move on to the thought that I'm actually getting into. We did see, though, that it's definitely a thing where it's like certain older people especially have some knowledge, at least, because we had Peli say, I think, thank the Force. But I'm wondering, like, what are the general levels of knowledge people have? Like, so do most normal people have some vague idea of the Force but don't really know what it is? Or do most people know what the Force actually is and just not know what Jedi were anymore? Or is it just a thing where it depends on where you're from and how old you are, and all that kind of stuff? Because I guess, accept that if you're in a true backwater, you might not know what Jedi were. I mean, there were only a couple thousand of them, and a galaxy's gigantic, obviously. I don't remember how many planets were said to be settled in the Star Wars galaxy, but I'm pretty sure it was over 1 million. That's a lot of freaking places and a lot of freaking people. So it stands to reason that some folks would not know what those things are. Just, I don't know. Still feels a little weird.
Wake up!
That people seem to have, like, that most people anyway, seem to have pretty much no knowledge of these things. But, I don't know. I think the show definitely had Peli say what she said, thank the Force, as a way of kind of just, like, addressing that slightly. Like, no, it's not that everyone has forgotten these things, just that a lot of people don't really know much about it. Never, maybe to the point where they never really did. Which also stands to reason. I mean, look at our planet, actually. How many religions are there on our planet? I mean, study comparative religion, so I kind of should know this, but I think, like, major religions, I think you, depending on how you define it, of course, would be considered somewhere between, like, probably 5 to 15 or so, or 20, that would be considered major. So I think you have to have, like, a couple 100 million adherents or more. But if you include everything, there's probably over 1,000 religions on this planet still, that are distinct enough to be their own things. So multiply that by an entire galaxy full of millions of civilizations. It would stand to reason that not everyone, even if information was everywhere, not everyone would have heard of the Force. You know, not everyone would have heard of the Jedi. So that I can understand, and I really should just keep that in mind, that there are other things people would believe in, you know, that as partially an explanation for this, and that there weren't really that many Jedi to begin with, so, which is another reason why people might not know them. There are definitely people who absolutely should know them, who sometimes don't seem to have any knowledge of them, and that's weird. Like one of granted, is a character from, well, no, I'm sorry, it is from the series from last season. One of you guys was pointing out that Cara Dune, who was a Resistance shock trooper, should absolutely have known what the Jedi were. You know, and that it really doesn't make sense for the Mandalorians not to know who they were, because even I was pointing out the fact that they have history, the Jedi and the Mandalorians. And considering how obsessed these people are with tradition and creed and all this kind of stuff, it's weird that it's not something that every single Mandalorian knows about, you know, the Jedi and what they did and what we did, and, you know, the long history of conflict between us and how it started, how it ended. I would expect that to just be something that they pass down each generation, foundling or not, you know. But it's neither here nor there. It's not really the focus of this episode. I'm glad to see that, you know, and granted, like I said, I've already seen the Book of Boba Fett, which expanded on this greatly, but I'm glad to see in this series the beginning of the whole diving into the Sand People as more than just generic set dressing or bad guys or whatever, that they're actually a culture with their own traditions, their own history, and with their own sense of honor, and, you know, that can be reasoned with, and you know, that you can have diplomacy with. I like that, because I really hate the idea of generic one-dimensional alien races. Star Trek used to lean on that way too heavily, and I was glad that they moved away from that in that series, and I'm really happy to see Star Wars finally moving away from this idea that if you're a part of a specific race or part of a specific culture, that you are this thing, this one thing. That's what you do, that's what you're for. Now we just need the Gamorreans to get that treatment. Because every single time, even in Book of Boba Fett, we see Gamorreans, they really are just like giant pigmen who are basically just dumb brutes. And so I would like to see some investigation into their at some point, and you know, showing that they actually are more than just thug pigmen. Anyway, I'm rambling now.
You? No.
Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and what you think of my my points, whether you think I'm completely off base. I always love hearing what you guys think about that sort of thing. Leave a like and subscribe if you want. I really appreciate it. It helps to grow the channel. And as always, do me a favor and do your best to stay safe and be well. And I will see you for the next one, guys. Bye-bye.